Next Fest is here once again, and I think this might just be the best lineup of demos to date. I'll let you be the judge, I suppose. Not to pick favorites, but have you seen Herdling? This is Okamotive's latest project after releasing Far Lone Sails and Changing Tides. This time, instead of sailing your way across beautiful wastelands, you'll herd your way across them. After coming across a lone, majestic creature called a Calicorn, the two of you team up, find a crew, and head out on an adventure. The moment that really sold me was this magical and seamless transition from city to countryside. And the whole demo really just flows like this. Out in these more open sections, you have this sort of boost that lets you speed through the landscape. Eventually, you'll find your way to some sort of obstacle or puzzle that you and your herd can solve together, maybe taking a little rest along the way. Okamotive is already known for creating games with these cinematic journey sequences, and Herdling is probably their best take on this idea yet. Just do me a favor and go play this one. You'll see what I mean. Here's a rather unexpected demo that I knew nothing about going in. Key Fairy, a hand-drawn pacifist folkloric bullet hell. Instead of fighting, you grapple and dance your way around monsters until they come to their senses and stop attacking you completely unprovoked. The art, man, it's unreal. As the Key Fairy, you kind of glide your way through the forest, doing these lovely little pirouettes along the way. You can use your grappling hook to go really fast, or take in the sights and talk to the weird critters you bump into. The non-combat combat encounters can still get pretty chaotic, but prove that sometimes violence isn't the answer. I love how the enemies turn into friends afterwards and talk to you like nothing weird just happened. If you appreciate the finer things in life, such as whimsy, trinkets, keys, twisting paths, and fairies, this is my Next Fest sleeper pick that I already know is going to need loads more attention than it will inevitably get. Possessors. So this is the other game Heart Machine has been cooking up alongside Hyperlight Breaker, and it's got the juice. It's an action-adventure platformer, maybe Metroidvania, and has all your standard features. Sword, wall jump, dash, grappling hook, 4 bosses scattered around the map for you to hunt down. But the real draw here, at least for me, is the world building and story. 3 years after the apocalypse or something, you wake up partially possessed by a demon. In exchange for them giving you new legs, you uneasily agree to carry them to their destination. The city is in ruins and overrun by monsters, but still quite beautiful with all this glowy neon. I love how the cutscenes were done. There's this simplicity that really makes you appreciate the art direction and how cohesive it all feels. Platforming, fighting, and exploring is familiar enough, but I still felt super drawn to this world and story, the mystery of it all. Of course, I love me a nice grappling hook, however my favorite tool was this computer mouse that you can do this big arc swing with. Combine this with the hook and that's some pretty flashy combat. Wasn't sure exactly what I should be expecting from Possessors when the game was first announced, but it's good. Another pleasant surprise for me was Gecko Gods, a puzzle adventure game built for curiosity. In this game, you can climb up anything, no stamina bar required. As this small but mighty gecko, your job is to awaken the ancient gods and solve lots of puzzles. To give you an idea of the vibe we're going for, this is a 3D platformer, so movement has to feel good, right? Well, I'm happy to report that moving around is a blast, and once I made it out into the sunshine, I was completely overwhelmed with all the places I could possibly go. I quickly found myself some stuff to climb and some buttons to press, but mostly ended up just goofing around. I think the big old open level was totally the right choice for the game, giving the player the freedom to go anywhere. And then I found a boat. This is where the demo ended, unfortunately, and I really wish it wasn't. Guess I'll see you next time, Island. Now, while I do like my easy breezy relaxing games, sometimes a challenge is also appreciated. And you'll definitely get one in the dreamy, Souls-like Prison of Husks. You wake up in a prison and you go off to look for a weapon and find a way out. Very methodical, very low res, very, very vibey. The demo is limited to this area, but when I saw the trees and the greenery in this trailer, hoo boy, I knew I'd be doing whatever it took to get there. I'm not the best Souls fighter, and Prison of Husks 100% requires patience and careful observation. It's also got some fun shortcuts and level design with lots of secrets and crates to smash. This is probably one of the most nostalgic feeling experiences and perfectly captures that feeling of trying to beat a game again and again as a kid, only to fail miserably while absolutely enjoying the process along the way. Truly one of those video gamey kind of games. Speaking of, Mina the Hollower is also definitely a video game, and a video game with a release date at that. October 31st, 2025 is when we'll be able to burrow our way into the full thing, but the demo will have to suffice for now. The game doesn't tell you much, and mostly lets you figure things out through trial and error. Like, I kept forgetting that I could jump over obstacles, but to be fair, you can't jump over everything. What you can't jump past, though, you might be able to burrow under. Combine this sometimes tricky platforming with some pretty precise combat, and this is a cult classic in the making. I'm sure you've probably already played this if you're a fan of Yacht Club games, but they really did knock this out of the park. Everything from the music, characters, the world itself, the difficulty, all perfectly tuned to scratch that pixel itch in the back of my mind. And actually, if you're looking for something similar to hold you over until Halloween, I highly recommend Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. It just came out like a couple weeks ago, and I was reminded of it a bunch while playing through Mina's demo. The colorful and lively city-slicken atmosphere is a contrast to the moody gothic halls, but I think it's still a must-play for any top-down retro-y fans looking for a challenge. Check out my recent review of the game if any of this looks cool. Now, stepping back for a moment and taking a breather, we have a super chill, puzzly, automation-y game called Kaizen, A Factory Story. Your job is to build toys and gadgets using various arms, flippers, and welders in the most efficient, cost-effective way possible. The puzzles in the demo are actually a lot simpler than what's shown off in the trailer, and it really does ease you into the whole premise, but I'm sure the full game will be much more challenging. The most surprising thing here was how story-heavy the game is. You play as David, a guy that just moved from Indiana to Japan to start a new career in business, yet somehow ends up on the assembly line. You'll get to know some of your coworkers in between missions, receive letters from your parents, that sort of stuff. Very wholesome and a nice addition, I think. Most of the demo's negative reviews revolve around not liking the story and just wanting to get straight to the puzzles, but I love the balance and the super chill vibes. And the award for demo with the weirdest controls goes to Caput Mortum. Set way back in 16th century France, you find a mysterious alchemist tower. But getting there won't be easy. Like, seriously, I know it's only a few steps away, but just look at this madness. No analog stick for moving your head around, only the shoulder buttons. Very diabolical. Once you finally get a little bit used to how the game plays, the real fun begins. The tower gets spookier and scarier as you descend, there's some alchemy puzzles to solve, weird contraptions, and of course, a monster that chases you around. I really underestimated how much this whole hand-moving thing would contribute to the mystical dread that Caput Mortum makes you feel, this extra sense of vulnerability and pressure you feel when trying to escape the monster. But it works so well here, and I know it might cause some people to bounce off, but if you like weird horror, definitely check it out. Morsels is also weird. It's a creature collecting roguelite that pretty much doesn't tell you anything up front, so I died a lot in the beginning. Like, what does all this UI stuff in the bottom left corner mean? I don't know, but I do know what losing a heart means. That's bad news. Eventually I switched the difficulty from hard cheese to soft cheese, and after a few more runs, something just clicked. I was able to collect a full set of 3 morsels, find some weird minigames, buy a few things at the shop, and ultimately defeat the first boss. Morsels feels extremely alien. You'll be picking up items and running around the map with no idea where to take them, having bizarre interactions with even more bizarre characters in between levels, and of course building up your collection of tiny little morsels to do your bidding for you. I have a feeling that Morsels is hiding a lot more than what I was able to find in the demo. Last is Ooh. No, the ice cream truck didn't just drive by. Ooh is the name of the game, and this game is a little puzzle platformer Metroidvania about a pink caterpillar and its love for explosions. While playing this demo, I got big, huge, mega animal well vibes. It only took me about 10 minutes to finish, and I think it'll be a pretty short game overall, but there were already a few great moments of discovery hidden in here. You really can't do anything besides plant and detonate bombs, not even jump, but that's what all the explosions are for, to help you travel both vertically and horizontally in some very creative ways. It's cute, it's snappy, it's ooh. And that's it for my Next Fest roundup. I still have a bunch more demos to try out, of course, but I had to post this video eventually, and I didn't want to just keep making it longer and longer. I'm sure some of you already have, but please do let me know of any great demos that I missed in the comments. I might do a quick write-up on Patreon next week with some honorable mentions as a free post. We'll see how many more games I get to. In the meantime, you know the drill, check out all of my other fantastic and amazing and wonderful videos.